of going through this season and getting to this game is a bigger test than one game. We come here to build a program. You want to consistently compete for championships. So the fact that we got here shows that we can get here, and then, with the program is going to be a bigger test of are you there for consecutive years or multiple years, or how often you get there. That's kind of the judge in the program. You know what? You come out there, whatever the result of the program is, I don't think judges, whatever the result of the game is, doesn't have a lot to say completely about the program. We still got a lot of work to do with building the program to the consistent level we want to go do it, and do it over a long period of time. And a win on Saturday night doesn't mean we've arrived in any way, shape, or form.
Alabama, #1 team in the nation. Florida coming off a loss to LSU would mean that they were a little lackluster throughout, and then toward the end of the game, you can look at it this way, they ended up losing that game because one of their players lost his composure, picked up an opponent's shoe, and threw it, got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which led to an LSU field goal. It turned out to be the margin of victory.
Sometimes kids do dumb things, and you shake your head when you see something like that, and I try to remind myself that the guys that are playing this game, college football, they're still all young men. Some are older than others. Some are playing as true freshmen, and everybody can learn from a knucklehead moment like that, especially the guy that does it. And believe me, he learned his lesson.
Yeah, but Florida does have the potential, I think, to knock off Alabama when they're right. They're very good. Kyle Trask is excellent, and I think if they come dialed in, which they didn't do last week against LSU, Florida could pull off the upset.
Well, and Florida has all the talent in the world.
Sure.
It's not like they don't recruit well in Florida.
They held the tight end Pitts out of the game last week. And
Sure.
He should be ready to go today.
Look, I look at the Gators. They're well coached. They have talent at all positions, and they're fast. That's the one thing you really look at skilled positions in college football. Not everybody's fast in the NFL, but not every college football team really has speed. Florida's got it in spades. They are very, very fast on the outside and on the back end of their deep.
Several other games in the SEC and in the Big Ten, those kind of cross-division games on championship weekend, just to try and get some more games in, and a few others canceled. Games like Iowa, Michigan, Indiana, Purdue, the Old Oak and Bucket game canceled this year. Miami, Georgia Tech canceled. One other note is that the team you kind of feel for a bit was Colorado. Idle this week because Oregon got moved up to the championship game when Washington wasn't able to play. Colorado actually sent their equipment truck halfway to Los Angeles, where they were supposed to be ready to play Oregon. They sent them halfway and were waiting word to see if they should go on to LA or head back to Boulder. Crazy.
Loss last week really kind of hurt them, didn't it?
Yeah, they lost to Utah. So
yeah.
In some respects,
they won that game. It's a whole different situation, and Oregon's not going anywhere.
Well, no, they would have had to make a choice between USC and Colorado.
You're right. You're right about that.
Yeah, the North had to go to Washington or Oregon,
but Colorado would have had a little bit better situation.
Yeah. So, and again, tomorrow we find out the conference, the college football playoff, the word that Tim Brando refuses to use. the participants in the Power 5 Invitational. We'll find that out tomorrow, as well as all the rest of the bowl matchups. So stay tuned for that coming your way tomorrow. Stay tuned for a look at Boise State's recruiting class announced earlier this week. 15 players in the fold signed on the dotted line. Touch on that coming up in a moment here on Bronco Game Day, 670 KBOI and Sports Radio 93.1 FM. The Ticket.
Still on the way on Bronco Game Day. The eyes of the college football world are on the Broncos this season, and we'll hear from guests around the country. Who's injured, questionable? We'll have a complete injury report and Worthington's breakdown of the game. This is Bronco Game Day with Dave Harbison and Rick Worthington on 93.1 FM The Ticket and News Talk 670 KBRI. The market is constantly changing. The Marketplace Minute keeps you up to date 1 minute at a time before your morning exercise.
Alexa, play Marketplace Minute. All operators file for bankruptcy.
While organizing your receipts.
Hey Siri, play Marketplace Minute.
As it's been spinning for an hiring.
During your afternoon snack.
Hey Google, play the Marketplace Minute. Upward swings in indices in Europe and Asia.
The Marketplace Minute, a podcast podcast and smart speaker briefing updated 3 times daily. Ask your smart speaker to play the Marketplace Minute. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
Treasure Valley, happy holidays from the all-new Steve's Hometown Chevrolet Buick GMC in Fruitland. A brand new state-of-the-art facility built with you in mind. They invite you to come discover the Steve's Hometown way of doing business. They have an expanded service and parts department with an all-new collision center. Steve's Hometown Chevrolet Buick GMC wants to become your GM dealer. They invite you to take the short drive and come see what they built for you. Steve's Hometown just received a huge shipment of Silverado trucks, GMC trucks, the all-new Yukon, and Tahoe Suburbans. They also have a great selection of Canyons and Colorados, plus the all-new Traverse and Acadia. Over 300 new and pre-owned to choose from. And now you can finance for up to 84 months at 0% or save up to $10,000 off. Now is the time to buy at the all-new Steve's Hometown Chevrolet in Fruitland. And remember, for over 30 years, the hometown name has been a name you can trust.
Join us at kickoff at the official KBOI watch party at Biscuit and Hogs. They got the game on the big screen. They got cold beer. They got plate-sized pancakes. They have plenty of bacon. We also have your chance to win a $50 gift basket for a Bronco shop, and you can register to win a $500 gift basket at the end of the season to the Bronco shop. Once again, Biscuit and Hogs, corner of Overland and Millennium. No better way to watch the game than the official KBOI watch party at Biscuit and Hogs. 2020 has been a difficult and uncertain time for all of us. As the weather turns and the challenges mount, it's never been a better time to pause and think of what we're grateful for. Hi, this is Andy Rowe from RowPaint.com. At RowPaint.com, we make an effort to give every customer a Row experience, something simple that goes above and beyond. This holiday season, we challenge all of our neighbors, friends, and community to ask yourself, how can I go above and beyond for someone in my community? It's the little things that add up, and you never know when a random act of kindness can make all of the difference to someone. Whether it's dropping off food at a food bank, volunteering time, or helping out your local humane society, remember that there really is more happiness in giving. Happy holidays from your friends at RowPaint.com. We are the official paint and coatings company of the Boise State home team and the unofficial merrymakers within our communities. May your days be merry and bright. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from RowPaint.com.
Carolers, that's the holiday spirit. Speaking of which, SimpliSafe Home Security is having a huge holiday sale. Right now, you can get 35% off the new system and a free camera at SimpliSafe.com/holiday. That's 35% off the system U.S. News named the best of 2020. SimpliSafe protects your whole home 24/7 with monitoring by professionals. The sale ends soon, so go to SimpliSafe.com/holiday for 35% off and a free camera today.
Do you think all vitamin C's are the same? They're not. Ester C is a superior form of vitamin C. It's the only vitamin C with 24-hour immune support, and it lasts up to 2 times longer than regular vitamin C. So don't just settle for any vitamin C. Buy Ester C and support your immune health today. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Flagship station for Boise State football. We are 670 KBOI, Boise. Now back to Bronco Game Day on the FM home for Boise State. 93.1 FM The Ticket and the 50,000-watt flagship for Bronco football. News Talk 670 KBOI. Now it's Bronco Game Day with host Dave Harbison and Rick Worthington.
Broncos in the Mountain West Conference Championship game for the 4th consecutive year. 2 of the previous 3, they've taken home the hardware. They'll try and make it 3 out of 4 and 2 in a row today, taking on San Jose State. It's 2:40 kick on Fox Television. Tim Brando and Pedros Papadakis have the call. Of course, Pete Cavender and Bob Beeler with the call on the radio side. If you want to keep going to championship games, well, you need to do your job on the recruiting line, and that is something the Broncos have done very well. Traditionally, they unveiled their class, at least as of now, potential additions down the road in the secondary signing period. But for this opening signing period, 15 players in the initial class, and some really intriguing names. Interview that I did before Bronco tailgate show, which you'll hear a little bit later on today with Paul J and me, with Kent Riddle, the associate head coach of the Broncos, where he talked about some of the things they've had to do recruiting-wise in this COVID year, Rick, including they had players taking pictures of themselves in a door frame or getting out a ruler to be able to do these measurables, because they can't do in-person visits. The kids can't come here. They can't go to the homes. It's all about tape and the relationships you've built with high school coaches over the years.
Yeah, really interesting how you recruit this year. And also because there are guys that are going to come back to play again next year that wouldn't have an opportunity otherwise. I mean, so you're going to have, there's going to be a term that you're going to hear a lot next year. They're super seniors. What the in the world is that?
It means those are the guys that go to Denny's at 5 in the morning.
Yeah, of course. You're talking about guys, super seniors are the ones that could have played that extra year because you get that extra year of eligibility back. So guys that would normally be graduating and leaving the program this year are going to have that extra year of eligibility, so they're a super senior. Interesting, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how many of those guys are going to come back.
It's essentially a free year for everybody.
Yeah.
To be determined who all comes back. And
So when you recruit, Dave, you go to a young quarterback's living room, and you're sitting there talking to him, and you think, so am I going to have an opportunity to compete to play year one? And you say, well, we think so, but we do have a guy that's there right now that could come back and play one more year. So it's hard to know at this point where to recruit and where to recruit heavily.
yeah, one or more years in many cases. And Khalil Shakir said, somebody asked him about this, and he said he's planning on coming back next year. He would be the one Bronco that you would think would be a potential candidate to go to the NFL. But they all have eligibility left, so even a guy who's technically a senior, as you said, could come back as a super senior. You could also have guys potentially playing a 7th year of college football, right? Like an Evan Tyler, who's a 6th-year senior, gets a free year. He could potentially come back. He will, and they would. Obviously, these are conversations that will take place between the player and the head coach, but we'll see how all that plays out. As far as the guys that signed on the dotted line earlier this week, we'll talk about a couple of them individually here in a moment. First, let's hear from Ryan Harsin, the head coach, with a quick overview of what he thinks is a stellar class.
The versatility, you'll see a lot of guys play multiple positions. The athleticism of this group, the size of the O-line, which is an average of 6'5", 300 pounds. So those are some of the things that we were looking for, along with all the OKG work, guys that are captains, guys that are doing well academically, guys that love football, guys that are high character guys. That was no different than what we've done in the past.
It's Brian Harsin, and because of COVID, they couldn't have the big dog and pony show party at a local watering hole where they have all the guys come on the phone, and it just had to be much more subdued. But nonetheless, they're important recruits. I think one of the highlights of this class certainly is the quarterback out of Louisville, Texas, Taylon Green, 6'6", 215 pounds, 3-star recruit, over 2,000 yards passing as both a junior and a senior. Member of the track and field team. He's the school record holder in the long jump, so he's very athletic and big, 6'6" and 215.
You realize ESPN lists him as a quarterback and defensive tackle. I mean, I'm just saying, he's a quarterback, but he's versatile. He's an athlete. And it's one of those guys that could play the quarterback position and change the way Boise State does offense. Whereas, let's not take anything from guys like Kellen Moore and Brett Rippon, but when you line them up in shotgun and it looks like it could be one of those read option plays, guys, it's not read option. They're not running anywhere. But guys like Bachmeier and now this young man, Taylon Green, are a threat to run. Taylon Green probably more so than anybody we've had play that position in a long time.
Wide receiver class is stellar. Caden Dudley,